It's been a while since I love the sports show so much. We tried to take it on the road.
We tried.
And failed miserably.
It was truly tragic. It was.
Yes, we did. This is the Saturday Sports Spectacular version of the Brian Moreno Show. Now, I've realized for quite some time that my love for the things that I love, it's very clear. Like, I either really love something or I really hate it. Like, I'm not in between about very many things. And if I am, I just let it go. But I am passionate about sports. I love sports. And I've always wanted to do a sports show. And I've always wanted to do a gambling show. And I've realized that I have to be able to merge the two because sports isn't just about gambling. It is about so much more. It is, to me, it's an escape. It's a release. It's something pure, hopefully pure, that you can root about and be passionate about and have vested interest in. And yes, it might not make a big difference, but making money can. And that's the gambling aspect.
It's like meditation plus making money.
Yeah, this is the Brian Moreno Show. Richard Sarvate to my right.
Hello.
Let me get the picture-in-picture set up for your beautiful face. I have to say, this has been what? I guess we didn't do a show last week. Am I correct?
We did not do a show last week.
Richard Sarvate, we had 1 week off.
Yes, we did. So we are on week 16 now, and we skipped 15.
So, and we tried to go to Vegas. Okay, I'll tell the story. We took the Brian Moreno Show on the road to Las Vegas, Nevada, got an Airbnb. The Airbnb situation has not yet been resolved, but I feel like I was slightly scammed. I feel like I rented an Airbnb that wasn't as stated, as it should be. Now, understand, I was one of the original Airbnbers in Los Angeles. I was there from the beginning. I was renting places. I had a place that cost about $800 a month. I was renting it for. I would Airbnb it for approximately $300 a night. I would do it down to $150 depending on demand. I was very savvy, I understand the supply-demand curve for optimal pricing. And I don't like to be scammed. I know I have not been the best Airbnb host, so I know what is to be expected and to not be expected. And we had the wool pull over my eyes, at least.
Oh, I also had much wool over my eyes.
Yes. But it was a good trip. Now, I went because I went to bet on Clemson. Historically speaking, I have a bad track record. Bookies have skated out on me a lot in my gambling career. And what I mean is for a long time, gambling was very nefarious in this world. And to gamble, you had to do it through seedy places. And you still do in some states, especially in California. And I wanted to place a bet on Clemson. Clemson versus Notre Dame last week. We all, but this was one of those games where I knew Clemson was, there's never a sure thing in gambling, but I knew it was going to be a winner. So we went to Las Vegas in the fraudulent Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
Got there. I bet. I was very prudent. I didn't bet. Some, I have made bets that are. I've outkicked my coverage is an NFL term for sports. I've made bets that you have to be willing to lose when you make a bet, and I've made bets sometimes that aren't so prudent. Because God forbid something happened, the quarterback gets injured. A fight breaks out, someone gets ejected from the game. Like, these are the type of things that happen that you have to be willing to accept when you gamble. So that's why gambling responsibly is also something that I preach, something that that it's taken me years to achieve some of the discipline that I have, and that's why I hope others can learn. So this show started out as I wanted to be a sports show, and then it kind of morphed into a gambling show. And I could see how I would even lose people with some of the gambling talk because they either don't like it, they don't know anything about it. And I want to kind of merge these worlds. So when I do talk gambling, I'm going to try to talk about it in a way where if you wanted to get on a website, Bovada, something like that, whatever, you could put 50 Bitcoin, or well, not to 50 Bit. That would be a lot of money.
That would be a nice
you
bet.
could put 0.000005 Bitcoin.
We should have put 50 Bitcoin on Clemson. That would have been nice.
Well, yeah. Well, and Clemson did take it home. Clemson paid for the trip.
Thank you, Clemson. Thank you, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, thank you, Trevor Lawrence. That was a very good game. Notre Dame never stood a chance. It was Notre Dame, Clemson. And Richard, would you like to pull up the college Final Four? Now, these four teams are going to play in the college Final Four. I think Alabama wins it all.
We have Alabama in first place, Clemson in second.
Well, yeah, but it's who do they play? It's the bracket system now.
Oh.
You should get who they play in the lines and everything. This is a big deal coming up on New Year's. I believe is the first round. This is the college playoff, and college basketball is going. I'm not going to talk much college basketball because it's a mess. They're just trying to get to March. The vaccine has started to get put out, and I think my guess is athletes are going to skip the line. Once you get all your healthcare workers, I think athletes and like CEO, that's my guess, just because there's so much money involved in athletics. Right now, Arizona is playing San Francisco. Truth be told, I do have Arizona. I took Arizona and Tampa Bay. You can follow if you actually care about my bets. I don't know how to get it out there yet, but the Action Network. The Action Network, I'm still figuring out what it is, and I'm actually going to reach out to them. I think it's quite an interesting website that they give out a lot of picks. I don't really take a prognosticator's if you ever hear someone say they're a pro and they give you a pick, just whatever it is, just take the opposite. In the long run, you'll win. I don't have any hard data on that, but I can tell you from experience, when someone is a sharp or a pro, immediately bet the other way, and that's a good pick. That's a good bet.
That's a lot easier than doing all the analysis.
Yeah. Just find people who think they're pros and just bet against what they say.
Yeah.
Well, and anytime as great as I am right now this season, I'm 28-17,
Correct.
which you know how hard that is.
It is hard.
And the NFL is very, very hard. I'm 28-17 against the spread. That's ATS, against the spread. That means whatever the line is in Vegas, I am 28-17, which is 11 games over 500. I don't know what the math works with the number. That's 60-some%. But the best gamblers in the world are 70%.
That's true.
What is the percentage on that? Could you tell me what percent I am? The best in the world. The ones who you actually do, you have to pay for their pick, or people subscribe to their services. I mean, they're not even 70%. I mean, if I hit 70% on the year, I could win the Vegas $1 Million Challenge.
62%.
62. Yeah, I knew it was right around 60.
Let's not forget that Richard Sarvate is 9-10. He's complete amateur, beating Vegas Al, who is 5-9.
You know, it's very tough. No, it's very tough. And Vegas Al's been gambling longer than you and I combined.
That's crazy.
No, but it's the NFL is tough. There's an application I was saying called the Action. It's Action application. Action. I'm posting my bets as I do them on there, so you can actually follow them on that network. I do it by units, because when someone wants to bet, you have to. When someone wants to bet, you have to understand what you're willing to lose. That's a good place to start. Say it's $50, say it's $20. I have $20 that I want to put on this game. That is your unit, a $20 bill, one unit. And not all the games are going to be the same. You know, like some games are going to have a higher confidence in. Like if I were to say it's a 5-unit play, like that's a big bet. Like you got to be able to ride. You got to be able to you have to be able to hit your big bets.
I'd love to get to a point where 1 unit is like $10,000.
Well, and that is for some people.
Yeah.
And that's 100. Those are players. Those are people. There are people who gamble who will put your lights out. Like, woo. Like, no, I know that this year, just this calendar year, I've had 3 bookies like 2.5, try to scam me out of money. And the second one was like, someone like you, if you want to bet, you have to go to Vegas. Because if I get hot, I just go all in. I try to double up. Like if you're giving me so much credit, San Francisco just scored a touchdown. If you're giving me so much credit and I'm doing well, like I feel like I'm playing with house money as is, until the money actually gets actualized, I never like to count it. And don't get me wrong, there have been times where I haven't collected because of that. I didn't need to double up again. I didn't need to press the last one. And that is still, like I say, I'm good, but finding that discipline has been that's what I hope.
Well, I think the discipline is actually the main part, because, there's 20 games to bet on today. You know what I mean? So you can find the holes. There's more games, so there's more holes.
Well, absolutely. And that's why as it gets later, and when, like, just the Super Bowl, for example.
Yeah, you only have one game to bet on. It's like, okay, what are you going to do? Like,
yeah,
either there's a hole or there isn't.
Yeah, and right there, San Francisco just scored there. I think they have C.J. Beathard as the quarterback. It's Arizona should win this game. I don't think they cover the 6 points, but Arizona should win this game. Arizona's in the playoff hunt. They need to win this. San Francisco isn't. They have a huge...
What do you have on this game? Did you tease the Cardinals down or what?
Yes. No, I teased the Cardinals with Tampa Bay that smoked them. I didn't need the tease. So I teased them down. So that means the Cardinals, they were 6-point favorites. And what I did, I did a 6-point teaser with Tampa Bay and Arizona. So you have to take 2 teams and you get 6 points on whatever Vegas's line is. This is the set, but you have to win both of those to win the bet. I won the first half. Now I'm waiting for the second half. But remember, things are called, these in gambling terms, it's called a teaser because it tickles your testicles. It's a... And just so you know, Merry Christmas. I didn't even say Merry Christmas. I said it on the news show, but Merry Christmas to everyone out there if you celebrate it. If you don't, same thing, Merry Christmas. I hope lockdown, this show, I know I needed to do it, not only because my passion for sports and the sports show, but taking a little time away allowed me to reflect on what my intention with this show is. I don't just want it to be a gambling show. I don't just want it to be a sports show though either. Like, there's a lot of sports shows. This is comedy, opinions, but with gambling from a proven good gambler. But who, my mother hates to know it, and there's not much she can say as it's been proven over time, but I've paid quite a bit of bills in my life through gambling. And I don't expect anyone to ever get rich off my gambling picks, but God, I think I can help you pay some bills if people listen to what I say. And that's why I try to post it my bets. And the Action Network, you got to post them before the game starts, so it's all recorded. I try to show, like, you can search for Brian Moreno, the Action app, maybe find, I don't know. I'm going to try to figure out how to put a link. Because I want to see, I want to see if I can put my money where my mouth is, and I want to see what kind of help I can actually give to people, because I don't need to charge for my picks. I would prefer that people watch the show.
What is your record on the Action Network right now?
Let me see. I'll tell you. This is a good question. Right now on the Action Network, I'm 33, 24, and 2, but I'm plus 34 units. So, like, if you follow my unit play, like, say your unit was $100, you'd be up 3,400.
Nice.
Following my bets.
Well, I mean, what more evidence do people need? Fuck your Vanguard 2050 life cycle fund and get on over.
No. I mean, there's a lot of risk involved in this, and that's why people just need to take the little that is. Look, whatever, we all got shit that we spend money on. Okay, we all do. And I have chosen sometimes to spend money on trying to make money than I have some of my necessities, and I have not always succeeded. Let me tell you, I have not always succeeded. But that's why I try to learn from my failures. Like, a lot of the people who I see failing gambling, they make the same mistakes and they can't remove emotion. Yep. And if I feel like I'm on a losing streak, or like I don't see it, I try to look people up who I think have no idea, or who are regular losers, and I just bet against that.
One thing I think is problematic is when someone starts believing their own hype.
Oh, yeah.
I think that can cause big gambling loss.
Well, it can, but I'm a full believer in the independent chaos theory, which has allowed me to not believe my own hype. I have to take every game independently.
Yep. Yeah.
And for me to do that, I feel like that's how you stay the course.
Yep.
Like when you start to get a big head, it is when, especially with me, when I get a big head is when I start to make losing bets, like extra bets that don't need to be done.
Exactly.
For example, yesterday, the Brooklyn Nets played the Boston Celtics. If you line up those two lineups, the top 10 players on each team, Boston only has 2 players that I think could even play for Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew Brooklyn was going to smack them. I tried to bet individual quarters on how they were going to smack them instead of just letting the game play out as I knew. And I lost 5 units that way.
Yeah, I think there's so many swings in these games, even on a overall game level, that trying to bet on swings within quarters is like an extra level of
it's very difficult.
Chaos that is kind of difficult to gauge, and also I kind of feel like, it's like if you stay the course and you do the bets that you're sure of, and you kind of like curb the amount of like side bets that you're doing, I think that kind of like, I think side bets are where people kind of lose their money.
Well, understand it's very, when you saw in Vegas, for those who are curious how Vegas is right now with the pandemic, they're very strict about masks. We were pretty much in and out sports gambling. I saw the poker tables, and they were, it seemed like animals in a cage. Like if you were to go to like a fish shop, like a fish store, it felt like fish playing poker. Like that's what, like that's really what it looked like. They were all in like their own little terrarium or something, whatever the lizards stay in. And, it was very strange. And I don't,
this is not the Vegas of days old,
No, I enjoy Vegas tremendously.
Yeah.
But we went in, made the Clemson bets. I did well on NFL. I lost one big play, was on the New York Giants against the Cleveland Browns. I no idea why I would bet on Colt McCoy. Colt McCoy is the backup quarterback for the New York Giants. It was a slight.
Well, I think the issue once again is, like I said, there was only one game. If there was any other game, we would have been like, let's bet on the other game.
Yeah, of course. No, I just wouldn't have bet. It was a slight case of me chasing action.
And also, Colt will not be starting this week. Daniel Jones will be starting for the
Danny Dimes. Now,
I don't think Colt McCoy should play another game in his entire life. I mean, based on what he did.
Now, Colt McCoy isn't. He by no stretch of the imagination is a starting NFL quarterback, but I thought Colt McCoy was going to get a one single touch. All he needed, because I had the Giants teased up. All he needed to do was get one touchdown, and he could not do that. That was extremely disappointing to me.
Yeah, and just the look on his face when he was on the field, we could see the fear in his eyes, and that told me everything I needed to know.
And sometimes body language is a real big determiner when you make bets. Like Peyton Manning used to get what I would call the Peyton Manning puss face. And before the game, he would seem kind of sad and disconnected, or he would cold. He looked cold. And I'm like, you don't want your quarterback out there looking cold and distraught. And
did Colt play the previous week, or was
no Colt McCoy? Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Okay.
I knew he was going to. I just thought he was going to be able to score a singular touchdown, which I have to say, that was asking a lot. He played as poorly. Well, he played like I don't know what Colt McCoy's salary is, but he played accordingly.
That's $1 million for this 1 year.
Wow, $1 million. No, he played like a $500,000 quarterback.
Oh my God, dude, he played like negative.
He played like a $500,000.
He should have paid me to watch that game.
Well, he should have paid those bets. He should have covered those bets of mine. I want to get Vegas Al on the line and see what Vegas Al has to say.
Let's get some picks from the man on the town.
Well, I don't know where Vegas Al is for the holidays. Merry Christmas, Vegas Al. How you doing, sir?
All good, all good. How are you?
Not too shabby, Vegas Al. We didn't see you last week. We were in Vegas. We tried to do a show.
I was there. How
I,
did you
well,
hang it?
well, Vegas Al, I like a new. I tripped and I twisted my ankle terribly in Vegas. Yeah, it's just I just
Stop chasing them women. That's the problem.
no. I was just not paying attention, Vegas Al. That's all.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
And how are you doing? Merry Christmas, Vegas Al.
Everything's good. Ho ho ho.
Yeah, did you take any bets today or yesterday, Vegas Al?
The only thing I took yesterday was the Saints over.
And that hit, correct? I don't know what that number was.
I think they scored over 80-something points. Yeah, it was easy.
Oh,
But,
the Saints, he broke the record, right?
a lot of stuff for you today. If you guys are ready, when I write this down, it's going to take a little time. But
Yes, you have Vegas Al. You have all the time in the world, Vegas Al. Because I have to say, I have figured out that that this show. I have the freedom to talk about all the things that I love in sports, and it's not just gambling. So if you have any topics you want to bring up, Vegas Al, they are not off limits.
Okay, well, yeah, I do have one little topic. I want to first congratulate an old friend of mine, Bruce Arians, for Tampa Bay Buccaneers today, clinching the first playoff spot since 2007. That's 13 years ago. And I know Bruce Arians back when he used to coach for the Temple football team.
So, yes. Yeah, well, congratulations, Bruce Arians.
Shout out to him, and I hope he goes a long way. We'll see.
Well, now, do you think Tampa Bay can beat good teams? Because they can beat bad teams.
You know what? Every given Sunday, you never know, right? And now it's going to be Saturdays too, so who knows? And don't forget too, with the COVID, I mean, you might have a player that could be a superstar and not playing. You don't know. It's tough to handle.
Well, that's actually a really good point. I think the playoffs could be determined by what team has the most fortunate path. You know, because
if my team made it to the playoff, if I was the coach, I would do my best to beg them to kind of stay in a little bubble. I mean, it's only for a few more weeks, you know.
Now, I have been surprised at how few cases of COVID they did have this season in the NFL. I think they've done a spectacular job, especially considering that we had a few outbreaks in the middle of the season. The Raiders, Tennessee, had a few little outbreaks, but besides that, nothing. And then even yesterday, James Harden, was at the strip club, but he's going to be playing tonight, it looks like.
But you got to remember, you're dealing with athletes, number one, that are in tip-top shape. Number two, you're dealing with athletes that are in the 20s, maybe mid-30s. So when these kids test, and I say kids because basically, well, I'm not older than that, but to me they're kids. And if they're going to test positive at that age, their next negative test could only be 3, 4, 5 days later. Whereas an older person, it could last for weeks on end. So it's a whole different ball game. It's a lot different.
It really is.
You see them come back. They come back with negative tests in a matter of days, which is incredible.
Well, I sometimes wonder because they have had certain players test positive and then test negative so quickly. And I wonder, I have to ask Dr. Abby, and I wonder, is that because they have recovered quicker? Or maybe they didn't have it to begin with, and it was a false positive. Like I'm just curious about that.
Is Dr. Abby there right now?
No, Dr. Abby is not here. That Dr. Abby will be in
Well, I'm
studio.
sure she knows that not all these tests are there's a lot of false positives, also false negatives. So I believe in testing both ways. Now they have the rapid test, which a friend of mine today told me they tested positive on the rapid test, which I was shocked to hear, just from bad back pain. So, and her husband does not have, or actually tested negative. So I told her, go get the one where they stick the swab up your nose and almost hit your brain. That's the one that's most, the most effective.
That one freaks me out, man.
Yeah, that'll tell you. I mean, that's doesn't have. I think it's like 98% positive rate as far as being negative or positive. It's the most accurate.
Well,
But hey, look, it's no fun. I think that's the one Trump first got, where he talked about hitting his brain or something. They stick in your nose each side, 15 seconds. You twist it around.
there's a theory that there's a mutant gene going around here in LA. I don't know. I mean,
There is.
that's
There
a
is,
theory.
Pfizer and Moderna both came out and said that they believe the vaccine works against the mutation also.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so.
No matter getting vaccinated, and then we'll find out. But you gotta be smart.
Well, right now you absolutely do. You absolutely do. I think August is when I think things get back to normal. That's my guess. August.
So midsummer, yeah, I believe that. I just hope that people out there believe in the vaccine, take it, because we need to have herd immunity, and in order to be able to get rid of this virus. It's how can I say? It's sort of half the people just vaccinate. We're never going to get rid of it, and most likely we're going to have to revaccinate every year. So if we can get rid of this virus, and the more people do take the vaccinations, a better chance of totally annihilate it, then we're all better off. As far as mandating the vaccine, I think down the road, when they find out it is really safe, maybe it should be.
I know a guy who's selling.
They mandated polio. They mandated smallpox, and guess what? They're not around no more.
I know a guy who has the Russian vaccine, Vegas Al, if you're interested.
Yeah, I know. He's in a real hurry, too.
Do you snort it or what?
Now, Vegas Al, what? Okay, give me some good, because this time of year when it comes to gambling, it gets hard. I
think it's very easy. I'll tell you why. You've got teams that don't want to be there and teams that are totally motivated to be there. And that's both works with the professional and works in the college bowl games. You got teams that started off the season with high expectations, let's say in the college games, and they end up with some shit bowl, excuse the language, and they don't care to be there. And yet you have that same bowl, because it's a shit bowl, you've got somebody that never expected to be in a bowl, and they're there. So they're motivated to win the game.
Well,
I haven't started really handicapping them yet, but that's the way I've always done it through the years.
Well, I think college this year is, I mean, it's pretty easy when you see it. Like, I knew Clemson was going to smoke Notre Dame. And that's why we went to Vegas, was just for that. And I think Alabama's going to run through Notre Dame also.
I think Clemson repeats again.
Really?
Yeah. That kid's the real deal.
That Trevor Lawrence, he's quite a quarterback.
Truthfully, if I was him, well, the Jets won last week, so I don't know where he's going to go right now. But I think now there's opportunity for teams to trade up, maybe to get him. It's possible. Now that the Jets lost, I remember when the Eagles traded twice to get up to the second pick and pick Wentz. So who knows? But I don't think he wants to play for the Jets, and I don't think he wants to play for Jacksonville. He is a junior. He could stay another year and win another championship.
Now,
I mean, he walks around on campus like he's a king. He is. So, you know.
what do you think about speaking about the Jets who beat the Rams last week? Maybe one of the biggest upsets in the NFL this year.
Yeah.
That was such a look ahead game. Are you kidding? Oh my God! In fact, that's my best bet of the week. In fact, I'll go over with you right now.
Well,
Let me give you
okay,
those.
let's
Let me
hear.
give you- First of all, the Rams, I think right now are +1. They own Pete Carroll. They're 5-2 the last 7 games against Pete Carroll. Okay, they're not happy with the loss to the Jets. They have the best defense in the league, and they also own Russell Wilson. The Rams have not given up more than 275 yards except one time this season. That was to Josh Allen. Okay, so I believe a final score of 2017 Rams, and I think I might even be higher. I think this is my play of the week. They're going to come back and win big time. And remember, the defense for you have the number 1 defense going against one of the worst defenses, which is Seattle. And the look ahead, I think, was to this game with the Rams. They were embarrassed last week, and they definitely want to make up for this game.
They were absolutely embarrassed last week.
And they don't give up yards. Remember that. They don't. Josh Allen's the only one who passed over 275 yards. That was earlier in the season.
The thing is, the model has been proven that if you can get to Carson Wentz, if you can get to Jared Goff, you can really slow him down.
True, but that's not the defense they're facing this week.
That's a good point. That's a good point. And the money is, surprisingly enough, there's a lot of money getting bet on. More money is getting bet on Seattle than the Rams.
Yeah.
That surprises me.
Well, I mean, the line started, Seattle opened up at -1, and it's still -1. The 1.5, and now it's back to 1. So I would think right now even the money line is for Seattle's 116 versus Rams is -103. So that's pretty even split right now.
That's a stronger bet. Now that I'm actually looking at the numbers, I seem to like that. The Rams are, because I love the bounce back factor in the NFL. Teams off a loss seem to always play harder, especially when you get embarrassed.
Oh yeah.
And it was definitely. I mean, who's the better team? You don't think that was a look ahead game? It had to be.
And that was a very embarrassing. I couldn't believe my eyes. And the thing is, you kind of felt it from the first quarter. Like you expected the Rams to come back and do something, but they never did.
I didn't have a wager in the game. It's funny. You don't have these things go. People talk about teams, but I don't think in professional sports really tank. They're getting paid to do their job, and that's what they're supposed to do.
No. Individual players don't tank, but organizations most certainly put out lesser talent.
True, but the player plays the game. Remember, every game goes towards their next contract.
Very true.
Right?
Very true. Now, what do you think about a guy like, not to switch from the NFL to the NBA, what do you think about a guy like James Harden?
Well, I said a long time ago, as long as Houston had James Harden, they'd never win a championship.
Well,
James Harden, great player. If it was a one-on-one game, he's not a team player.
No,
let me tell you something. When somebody scores that many points, if you look at the statistics, it's because look at how many shots he takes. Who wants to play with somebody like that? I mean, it's just, I wouldn't say he's a cancer. what do we used to call that years ago? A ball hog or gunner. We used to call them a gunner years ago. Where you got the ball, you just always shot it. We called them a gunner because they just ran to the basket, and
Yeah.
that's you know. I mean, look, I'm not a fan of LeBron James. Yeah, he's a great basketball player, but um, at least he passes the ball around. He's more of a team player.
Well, and what do you think the Lakers? What? Give me. Let me. This is.
Well, I'll
Let
tell you
me
something.
get. Let me get your. Let me get your top. Let me get your finals prediction. How about that? East and West.
I think the Brooklyn Nets win the whole thing this year.
So Brooklyn comes out of the East. So who are they playing in the West? And Brooklyn looks great.
I think the Clippers.
Clippers, huh?
Yep, Leonard's the real deal. Even though I think he might have lost a couple teeth last night, but
Oh yeah, I did not see him bleeding out of the mouth. I heard it. I was doing
I
other
know
things, but I heard.
I don't know what happened with his teeth, but they must have rattled a little bit. I'm sure.
Oh, I heard he was bleeding from everywhere.
I'll tell you also, with Doc Rivers now with the Sixers, and they have a good GM. I mean, watch out for the Sixers. If Ben Simmons could get his head together and become a shooter,
I
you know, picked up
I
Danny Green. So I mean, they could be a team to reckon with.
I have believed in the 76ers too many times. I've believed in Philadelphia teams too many times to fall for this again, Alan.
Yeah, I know. Hey, look, I'm from Philly.
So what else for picks? Let me hear what else you got. Let's go back to the NFL, college. What else you got?
Remember a couple of weeks ago, I gave you a team total of Cincinnati under 14.5,
Yes, yes.
and all the score was 7. I'm coming back on that again this week, and I'll tell you why. Houston lost a tough game last week to the Colts. They were on the 5-yard line, and they were in a shotgun. Why were in a shotgun, a 5-yard line? I have no idea. But they blew it at the end of the game, and the Blues in the game, they could have beaten the Colts last week. So they're coming home with a vengeance. Cincinnati's going nowhere. That's one of those teams that don't want to be there. They're done. They're finished for the season. They lost the quarterback. So right now, I'm going to tell you a little funny thing here, and I don't understand it. I think the odds makers made a mistake. Let me see my notes here. Okay, you have Houston's right now favored by 7 points. Some places have it at 7.5. Cincinnati scored 17 points off of turnovers last week. Okay, they only had 78 yards, period, passing. What's that tell you about the quarterback? All right, the whole game, 78 yards, 17 points they got off of turnovers. Right now, Cincinnati getting 17.5 points as a team total for the game. That's 3 scores. I do not think they're going to score 3 touchdowns, number one. And 2 touchdowns in the field goal doesn't cover the hook. Another thing is that you have a 2-point differential. And the 2-point differential is that Houston team totals 26.5. Okay? 26.5 from 17.5 is what, 9 points?
So, so what do you like on this bet?
Well, why is Houston only favored by 7? You follow me? So basically, you got to take Cincinnati under the 17.5 because Houston is going to, they're already thinking they're going to win by more than 9 points by the team total, and yet the line's only 7. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes,
If the
and
team total of Houston is 26.5 for the game, and the team total of Cincinnati is 17.5, subtract that, you got 9 points, correct?
yes.
So why is Houston only favored by 7? If you look at every team on the board and look at the differential, the line, the team totals, they almost come out exactly identical when you add them up. This doesn't. This is off by 2 points.
Well, this one should. It's 25-18 is what the implied number is right now. I suppose is what they're saying. The score.
Looking at a different site. My site is a 9-point differential.
Yeah. See, that's.
But even still, I don't think they're going to score 3 touchdowns tomorrow, Cincinnati.
It's a bad team. It really is.
It's a team that wants to go home to their family. You know, it's 2 days after Christmas. What am I doing here?
Now, so you're saying you're playing this as Cincinnati under total.
I love the total of Cincinnati under. I also love Houston in the game, -7.
Yeah.
I think it's a total blowout, or at least let's put it this way: at least 10 to 14 point differential.
Wow. All right, what's your next play?
I'm going to give you a teaser.
Yeah, let's hear.
Pittsburgh. There's 3 in a row. Okay, coming home. I'm not saying going to beat the Colts. But if you take them in a 6-point teaser, you're going to get +8. You're going to get them past that 7-point magical number. They don't lose at home by more than 7-8 points. Okay? I tease them, and I tease them with Chicago. Or I tease them with...
I can't put any money. I can't put any money behind the Steelers right now.
Well, I don't think they lose by 8 points.
And then you say take Chicago with them.
Let me ask you a question. Why is that game? 2 points, 1.5. Why is that line that small? You're going to buy it up 6 points to 8. You're going to get past that magic number of 7. You put them with the Bills. Bills are paying the Patriots tomorrow. Bills are -7. You get the Bills as a pick 'em. No hotter quarterback right now. Right?
See, this is a tough slate, and not to get too in the weeds in gambling talk, but the people who've been taking parlays have been losing at a much higher percentage because the lines have been so close. Teaser plays have been the smarter play this year.
Yeah.
But let me say this to you then. Let's go back a little bit. If the under-over in the Colts-Steelers game is, say, 43 right now, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You get a live home dog at +8. What does that tell you? A low-scoring game, and your home team is a live dog getting 8 points. They're 11-3. What does that tell you?
Yeah. Right now...
now, there's 13 games on the slate left that haven't gone off yet.
Yes.
11 are under 50. Only 2 are over 50 points. So it's showing a lot of low-scoring games. So big numbers to cover.
Huh. I think the Steelers play that is a smart. There's a lot of sense to be made to taking the Steelers this week because this is a really ultimate buy low kind of situation.
They have to win this game.
Yeah, people are really down on the Steelers too. This is a really big buy low situation because Ben Roethlisberger has looked
terrible.
He's looked like he can't even play in the NFL. He does, but he had Tommy John surgery. And from what I hear, like Ben Roethlisberger just doesn't take care of himself. I hear Ben Roethlisberger says a good off season is some yoga and drinking beers.
You know what he eats? he eats all those Roethlisbergers they serve in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, well, And when you don't take care of your body, Father Time is undefeated. LeBron sustains because he
Why do you
puts
think he's going so far as he has? I mean, the guy's got such an amazing diet.
well, taking care of your body and putting money into yourself is extremely important.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yep.
when that
What,
your job.
Brian, see, taking care of yourself would you say that putting money in, right?
Yeah.
And, right. Okay. That's like a prostitute.
Well,
Same thing. That's why in Vegas here it's a big deal. It's the money and taking care of the body.
Yeah. Well, taking care of yourself, all of your needs, whatever they may be. Like I'm a big proponent of massages and like getting into the like causing yourself some pain to loosen up.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a big relief of stress and guys like, LeBron, I mean, these guys are getting deep tissue massages 5 days a week. Like
that can't be good for you, dude.
Hey, diet and exercise, there's no substitute
but
for it.
they're getting into hyperbaric chambers, which is great. Like that gets your body, the amount of swelling. I can't imagine what LeBron would be like if he could use steroids.
Well, again, they're young, and they're getting paid to. They have the best nutritionists, the best trainers. Makes it a little bit easy for them.
All those chia food smoothies, some almond butter.
Yeah, right? No, it makes it different. Personal chefs, God. I would love, that'd be lean and mean. I don't know. I miss gyms here, and are gyms open there in Florida?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wow. I'd love to go to a gym.
We have a great governor. Great governor.
Hey.
Use it to choice. Use it to your choice, and that's the way it should be. Don't, you can't lock people up like they're in jail. It's your choice. You want to go out for dinner? You don't? That's up to you. Out of Florida, you could at least sit outside and be social distance, So,
what's your next? Give me your next pick, Vegas.
You're going to think I'm crazy.
Yeah, I already do.
I'm leaning pretty heavy to Philly. And I'm going to tell you why.
The Eagles, Jalen Hurts.
Oh, the Eagles.
First off, that line jump from Eagles getting 1. The Eagles right now are -3. Now, I won't bet this yet. I want to watch this line. I don't think it will go to 3.5. I do think it's got a chance to get dropped to 2.5, which is a big difference.
Wow.
Hurts, hungry, motivated. He's a leader. He's got his team. His team's behind him. Dalton.
Both these teams are so
wants
bad.
to go home. Dalton's done. He wants to go home.
I think the whole Cowboys team wants to go home after this season. This is a season the Cowboys want to forget.
Things going on in that team right now that we don't even know about. Meanwhile, you got a very motivated quarterback that's motivated his team. Dalton is under tremendous pressure. Hurts has no pressure at all. He can't wait for this game. Trust me. I just like to see it drop under 3 because I don't think it's going to be. I think it'll be a close game, but. I mean, it always is with Eagles-Dallas games, usually.
Wow.
Right? Hurts will pull this. The kid's pretty good.
Betting against the Cowboys makes me feel a lot better than betting with them. I'll tell you that much. Betting
the Eagles, that's not great either. But guess what? With a new quarterback, but with Hurts, I mean, I believe in this kid. I mean, I'm not on the team, so I'm believing in him. You don't think his players are believing in him? They see a difference. I'm nothing against Carson Wentz. I just think he lost the edge with the Eagles, and I think he'll be a great quarterback again, but with another team. Most likely the Colts. I think Rivers' 1-year contract will be over. He's old. Colts have money. They got a good defense. They got a good offensive line. I think that's a perfect spot for Wentz.
Yeah. Okay, got any more bets for us, Vegas?
Yeah, I think I had one more. Yeah, I did have one. Okay. This is another little goofy bet, but I'm going to take it. I happen to like the Packers. Now, it's a little tough game, and I don't want to bet them for the game because right now they're 3.5. They're favored by 3.5 over the Titans, and Titans are a pretty good team. But I like the first half bet. Packers minus 2.5.
Packers, Titans.
I don't want to go the whole game, the whole route. But I can see the Packers being up at the half by 2.5, by 3 points. And you have no hook that way, you know?
You know, I like the Packers in this one.
It depends where this line drops. I mean, now I'm looking now. Right now, it's 3. It was 3.5.
Yeah.
But even 3, you know, that's a push to me. So I like the 2.5 at the half.
Interesting. So that one is the first half Packers, right? Let me get that.
Correct.
First half Packers.
But man, jump on the Rams this week. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that actually may be the strongest bet that I see. This is a tough card. And Arizona just missed a touchdown. Ooh, so close. That was painful. So close. Well, Vegas Al, you have been a pleasure. As always, we're going to keep track of your bets. You have a merry day, and we will talk to you a little later.
You got it, my friends.
Have a good one. Buddy.
Have a good one, dude.
Bye.
Well, Vegas Al gave us a lot to think about.
But there's a lot in my mind now.
Well, I have to say, Sarvate, you've come an exceptionally long way this year when it comes to gambling.
Yeah, I actually know what a spread is.
What a line is, who some of these people are, besides Tom Brady. You know, I am only going to give out the bets that I really like right now because tomorrow's hard.
Yeah, no,
I stayed away from a few things today because it was so difficult. I only like to give out things that I am confident about. Now, I am scared for this next game. It's Dolphins Raiders.
Uh-oh.
I have teased the Dolphins with Arizona.
Okay.
But that being said, all week the Raiders have heard about them imploding. They have their backup quarterback, Marcus Mariota, now. So I don't really know what to expect out of them. But I'm going to... right now, I think Miami wins, but I don't know. Right now, on the line, Merry Christmas to you. Jersey Josh, how you doing?
Good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm great.
I caught the tail end of your conversation right there.
I'm scared about this next game. Miami.
That's my game. I have my game of the year going off next.
What is it? Tell me. Let's hear.
Dolphins, big time.
See,
big time.
I'm already.
This is called the shoebox game. Everything you keep under your bed in the shoebox. You bring it to the window and you put it all on the Dolphins. In.
I don't have a shoebox full of money under my bed.
Wow. No, you'll have to use your Bitcoin. What do you have in Coinbase?
I have one Bitcoin.
Yeah, because in communist California, that's how we have to bet is through Bitcoin or bookie.
Right. Or drive
Bitcoin
to
Vegas.
Bookie?
Yeah. Well, do you know, last week we wanted to do a show in Vegas. I started drinking a little too early on Saturday, but I bet the house on Clemson. I think we lost Jersey Josh right there. I bet the house on Clemson.
And boy, did it pay off.
Yes.
Shoebox.
Dropped you, brother.
Yeah, I bet the house on Clemson, and it surely.
Oh, that was a nice one.
Yes, that's what I went for last week, and my only loser is at the very end. I chased by teasing the Giants, and Colt McCoy couldn't score a single touchdown.
Yep. I was the same way on that one.
So do you know all I needed was one touchdown there at the end of the game? Just one touchdown.
Brutal, man, brutal.
So hold on now. You like Miami to lay
Miami.
the house.
I think Miami's trying to make the playoffs for the first time many years. New coach, new attitude, young team. I don't like the Raiders' direction right now.
Well,
fired the D coordinator. A little bit of problems over there.
Well, the thing is, John Gruden gets a lot of credit. The coach of the Raiders gets a lot of credit for being a good coach, but he did win with Tony Dungy's team. You know, he's only a 500 coach if you look at his record. He talks a big game, but I don't necessarily know if he's that great of a coach. So I think I might ride this Miami. I might ride this Miami pick. Do you?
I like it.
What else do you like this week? Because this is a tough slate.
I like this slate this week. I'm going to go with
who else?
I like Carolina over the Redskins big time.
Really?
They're a flaming trash heap of shit somehow at the top of the NFC East. With the quarterback situation there is really bad.
Well, I don't know who do they even say is going to be starting for the Redskins this weekend. Let's see right now. Right now, Alex Smith is questionable. Dwayne Haskins is a mess. He's an absolute mess. Teddy Bridgewater, he's got game. But Carolina, they find amazing ways to lose games. Jersey Josh.
Yeah, I just think they're a much better team.
Well, I also think that division is pretty tore up.
Oh yeah.
Now, last week the Cardinals played who? I'm pulling this up right now. The Cardinals played the Packers last week and kept it tight. That's right. The line was 8.5.
You know, the 2 years in a row they lost by the same exact score
to the Cardinals.
The Panthers Green Bay game ended the same exact score 2 years in a row.
Wow, that's hilarious. And the line was 8.5. Yeah, I had a 3-team teaser that I got hooked on.
Right now, I'm on the Niners here watching this shit fest at the halftime here.
Yeah, I have the Cardinals teased just to win.
So what else I got? I got big.
Yes.
Carolina's big. Game of the year. I'm going with the Dolphins, and I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Wow.
I actually think they're going to win the NFC East. Amazingly.
Wow. And do you know, Josh? Last time we were here, I was 4-0. My overall record right now is 28-17.
Nice.
Yes. All my bets that I'm tracking on the Action Network, I'm 33 units up right now. Because I'm trying to get them. I'm going to get them on as a sponsor. I'm telling you. Like this is good. Yeah, no, well, just so people can track my actual bets and see what my actual plays are. So Dolphins, Carolina Panthers, Eagles.
And Eagles. And here's another thing.
Yes.
Two prop bets on the side. Take your money, take a bet on the Philadelphia Eagles to win the NFC East. I got 4.5 to 1 earlier today.
Wow.
And what happens if the Redskins lose and the Eagles win? It goes down to next week, Eagles, Redskins for the division.
Wow.
That's 4.5. You're getting a good number on the Eagles. I think they waxed the Cowboys this week. Also in a high scoring affair in Dallas.
Wow, that's a really good storyline right now. So tomorrow, Carolina could.
Carolina beats the Redskins. Redskins, their offense is putrid. No matter who's a quarterback at this point, you can throw Alex Smith out there with one leg. And then you got, I think the Panthers come in for a W. And I think the Eagles beat the Cowboys. Jalen Hurts is looking good. The offense is flying around.
Wow.
And here's one little NBA little nugget to put
Yeah,
here.
now hold on. Before I gotta get your finals, your two finals, East and West.
West, I'm going with the Denver Nuggets.
Wow, really?
I like the Nuggets.
You think they're gonna get that team put together?
I think they do, yeah. And the East, I'm going to go with, again, the Boston Celtics.
No, even now.
Yeah.
Now
Here's one bet I have, though, prop bet for the NBA. I really like this prop bet. 40-1 MVP, Joel Embiid.
Wow, that's
40-1. New coach Doc Rivers pushing him. I think change is good for him. He's in the best shape of his playing career. I could see MVP ride for Joel this year.
That's not the worst. Now, see, that's what we bring on this show. A lot of diversity.
It's big payoff. I mean, you take $200, it brings home $8,000. I mean,
that's how we do it on the Brian Moreno show. Yeah, those are the payoffs that we're looking for.
Yep.
Still try to pump out the stimulus for the Americans, man.
Take it to the window. Miami Dolphins -2.5, huh?
Yes, sir. I love it. I mean, the line should be the other way. It should be Raiders -2.5.
I think so also.
I mean, the line's way off on that game. That's just a funny line. They're begging you to take the Raiders. I believe begging you to take the Raiders.
Now I think you're on to something right there, Jersey Josh. I am with you. I like the play. I'm rooting for Arizona to finish it out. Wish your family a Merry Christmas. What is Jersey Josh's record right now? Could we get that pulled up, Sarvate? You've done quite well, Jersey Josh.
Well, I don't know. I have 7-7 right now.
You're 7-7, but you're 7-7, but you came in real strong. I think you had one bad week there a couple weeks ago. That was it.
Tonight's game, I would say, counted as 10 games.
Wow, tonight is a best bet from Jersey Josh. I like that very much. Thank you very much, Jersey.
You got it, fellas.
All right, we'll
Thanks
talk to you next week. See, that's the heat we bring to this show. That is the heat. Jersey Josh came in with props, and we haven't even talked about the NBA yet. That's why we'll do a stand, like this is big NFL weekend. So we're going to do a standalone show. Now, Richard Sarvate, you have become our amateur professional gambler.
Yes, I have.
What do you like?
Well, okay, the way Baker Mayfield is playing right now, he's amazing, and the Jets are terrible. So I think they can cover the 11. So I'm going to take the Browns.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I think I just want to play it safe this week and just get my record back.
Just take the Browns.
Yeah, I'm just going to take the Browns, dude. Because here's the thing. My whole thing is, like, I want to do what my idea is that, like, don't take bets that I'm not sure about. And this is, like, the only thing I can see that's, like, obvious to me.
Was it obvious last week when the Jets beat the Rams?
Well, I think now the Browns know that the Jets, like,
to not trifle. Don't come in light.
Yeah. The Rams, they were like, oh, we're playing the Jets tomorrow. Let's get trash. Let's get hookers. And then the Jets were probably training. And now, exactly, don't underestimate the Jets.
Really? Okay, now, this is big. I'm 28 and 17 against the spread.
Yeah.
I, as the namesake of the show, I put a lot of pressure on myself.
Yes.
I'm going to give out the Rams.
All right.
I, too, am taking the Eagles.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I hate
You hate
to
doing
do
it.
anything with bad teams, but the Eagles have really pulled it together. I'm going to lay the Dolphins. This won't be up by by game that time. I don't think it's fair that I put that out and that go on my record. But I am going to take the Dolphins with Jersey Josh. That doesn't go on my record. But
Okay, it doesn't go on record. So right now,
no. Be only the ones that viewers, because this is big time. You know my record.
Yeah, Rams and Eagles so far.
Yes, Rams, Eagles. Man,
I say only go for the ones you're sure about.
The Colts.
Okay.
The Steelers cannot run the ball.
Steelers blow.
No, the Steelers. When you are one-dimensional, I'm sorry. When you're one-dimensional, NFL, you bet on good defenses. Colts, great defense. Love them. Love the Colts. That's why I couldn't believe Vegas Al took them. No, I love the Colts. I do.
Yeah, that's oof.
And I'm gonna ride the Carolina Panthers also. So that's 4, right?
Yep.
That's 4 picks. Last time I gave out, I was 4-0. All right. I'm not saying put your kid's education on it, but maybe your own. No, I'm just Richard Sarvate. Did you have fun today?
I did. I learned a lot. I'm ready for some fucking games, dude.
No, and that's why I'm trying to get the sports show so that you can just listen to it. You can just have a remedial understanding of all these things and maybe pick up on a few things, maybe make some money, but also get some of the insight so that when you do see some of these games, you have either a rooting interest or something that makes your blood pressure rise just a little bit so you know you're alive.
Well, my blood is at a simmer right now.
Well, it is. And it's absolutely, it should be. We've got it to simmer level.
Light simmer.
This has been the Saturday Sports Spectacular. I'm happy. Are you happy, Richard?
I'm delighted.
Good. And what is your record?
My record is 9-10 right now. I'm going to tie it up this
9-10. Yes, you're looking just to be over 500.
That's all I want to do.
Which is fine. I get it. Think back at old Richard who made 5 bets.
Oh yeah.
God, would you
He
go
got
back?
Reckless.
You would go back and advise that Richard.
I would say, hey, reel it in a little.
Yeah, slow your roll, brother. Take a breath. This has been the Brian Moreno Show. Good.
Hazel. Give her her toy back. Okay, here you go.
something happened. It's just